Well, Bruce Fein is a former U.S. Associate Deputy Attorney General, joins me live now from Washington. Can I start by getting your thoughts on what was in the resolution itself today? How critical is it that there are going to be public hearings in the weeks to come, and that also there will be transcripts of depositions conducted in private, that those will be released to the public as well?
Well, I think it's instrumental to moving the impeachment process forward that the hearings be public. In the Nixon case, the public was not in favor of impeachment when the hearings began some 7 months before his resignation. In an impeachment trial, because it has so many political overtones, namely removing a president elected by the people of the United States, it's critical that the people understand and for themselves are able to evaluate the evidence by seeing the witnesses, by reading transcripts. And they don't have to have it filtered, really, by either the media or anyone else putting spin on things. And I believe it would be wrong to try to accelerate the public hearings and make it shorter or truncated to get a vote. The American people have to be persuaded that the process was fair and the president's conduct in defiance of the Constitution warrants his removal. I also want to underscore, however, that the Republicans are wrong-headed when they suggest this is a complete reversal of the 2016 election if president was removed. Mike Pence, the vice president of the United States, would succeed to the presidency. And he, if anything, a carbon copy, if not even more conservative than President Trump. It's not as though if Mr. Trump is impeached and removed, the Democrats obtain control of the White House.
You know, when you say that this could be, the public dimension of all of this could be critical in shifting public opinion, I mean, do you think the social political climate in the U.S. is really conducive to that? Will it not just end up reinforcing existing views? I mean, hardcore Trump supporters don't really care whether there is evidence to back up Democrats' allegations. They want to stay loyal to President Trump regardless.
I think there's a certain portion of the electorate that satisfies your description, but I don't think that applies to the majority. Remember that a plurality of all voters in the United States are registered independent, and being able to evaluate the evidence themselves through television and the witnesses and the demeanor, I think will enable Americans to change their view or not based upon their evaluation. My view is that the public hearings are instrumental. In Nixon's case, it moved the nation towards impeachment, and he resigned. In Clinton's case, where there were no live witnesses, it was just Ken Starr reading a report that he had written, the public sentiment really didn't change at all. Still, even with social media, television is the name of the game. And if it's publicized, I believe the attendance, the viewing audience will be enormous, maybe even like the World Series, and it has the potential of shifting the game in favor or against impeachment based upon what the evidence shows.
Shifting in what way? So, I mean, Republican senators, what are they going to be looking for from public opinion? Is it about a large chunk of independent voters and Republicans saying, now is the time?
Yes, that's exactly what they'll be looking for. And they'll be remembering as well that in Nixon's case, those who stood with him towards the end were demolished at the succeeding election in 1974. It was a midterm election rather than a presidential election. So that experience shows you're going to pay a steep price if you continue to hang on to a president who's been discredited in the court of public opinion by evidence adduced through television in these hearings.
Thank you for sharing your analysis on this story with us. Appreciate it. Bruce Fein, former U.S. Associate Deputy Attorney General.